welcome to 15th episode of Art Tech Talk. I'm joined with Tilin as well. How's the weekend and what's the tech news? I think nothing's much happening these days, right?
Yeah, because of the Christmas holidays and
Yes, a lot of people must be shopping around.
Yeah.
So if you're shopping around, there are a lot of deals going around as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff out there. Again, during this season, you have to be really careful about getting hacked.
Yeah.
So I think we haven't spoke about how social engineering and how it used to hack people in, right?
Yeah.
So I
Now
think
calling so many companies have this two-way authentication, and say Google, Facebook, and everyone has two-step authentication, right? So we feel a bit safe about this, but
I think we even advocate saying, yeah,
Yeah.
you need to set it up. Two-factor authentication is there. It'll make you safer. Does it really make you safer?
yeah. That's the question.
Yeah. So if you to get into social engineering and hacking is in a way it actually doesn't involve hacking into a system by using technical means. It's about hacking into someone's system using social engineering, tricking someone to give out some information, right? So I mean, there are little things. I mean, there has been DEF CON is one of those international events that a lot of hackers comes in, where they show what they discover, not only social engineering, all these tech things. I mean, there was one incident where one lady, she actually hacked into the interviewer's account.
Yeah.
So it was quite simple, and she was doing it over the phone. So how she did was she actually played a crime baby, a video on the background on the laptop. So she has called the phone provider's hotline and said, look, I want to get into my account, but I can't get into my account, and this is my husband's account. He's not there. Now I'm trying to get into because I want to do some work. Can you help me out? And at that point, she knew husband's actually the guy who she was trying to hack into name and all the information she already knew from Facebook.
Yeah.
So she found the date of birth, the name. So she called the phone line and said, look, my husband's name is so and so and born was this day. Can you just, I want to log into his account and connect my phone into it, blah, blah, blah. And then
the thing is, most of the companies ask you basic questions, right? Birthday,
yes,
and something like that, the city and so these are already on your social media, right?
Right. So it's on your Facebook account. So you already have your phone number, already have your, I mean, like most of the time, it's easy to get your mother's maiden name. It's not that hard, right? Even I can be a friend add you to my Facebook account because a lot of people accept people without even thinking twice, right?
I've even seen people sharing their credit card saying, hey, I got a new credit card, and the number and everything is there. So that's very bad.
That's pretty bad. So so finally she somehow acted like she's annoyed because the kid is crying, and that she acted like she's about to cry. So the person was other end from the phone company actually felt bad for her and set it up the account. So they basically linked that person's account with her account.
Yeah.
So she had full access to that person's account. So these are little social engineerings you can do, and I've seen a lot of, especially let's say for example you get a call. Hey, I'm calling from so and so mobile company. So because you can obviously know what's the mobile company based on the number, and saying, hey, you want X amount of money. We need to clarify some information just before you give your gift. Can you tell me your, what's your phone number, what's your identity card number, and then ask for address and even ask your mother's maiden name and get all that information. After that, getting all that information across, you can call a bank and say, hey, I'm sorry, my credit card is an issue. Can you just change this address? Can you just issue me a new credit card? Then what they would ask is what's your credit limit is, and then they'll ask
your identity card number.
What's your identity card number and basic information, and that's the validation they do, and it's scary.
Yeah.
So these are what you call social engineering, and so you have to be really careful if you get calls like this, especially if you're asking for your personal information. So for example, if someone is calling you and pretending to be your bank, one thing we would recommend is installing app like Truecaller, where it would actually show you if it's a bank. You obviously know it's a number of the bank. But I would normally do is I said, look, can I have your contact details? I'll call you back. So what I normally do is I wouldn't call the number that they have called me on. So I would call the bank's general number and ask. So hey, this is it. So even the phone companies, you can do that and say, no, I want to call you back. Can I have your name and designation so and so? So you call the hotline and ask.
Yeah.
Then you can validate yourself.
Even like calling on events, I've seen some people like collecting forms with your contact details and everything.
Yeah.
I think that's also you have to be very careful about, right?
Yes. So I mean,
Giving your personal information is scary these days.
I mean, I wouldn't give it out. I mean, you put a lot of things on your Facebook. I mean, like even if someone wants to rob you, all you have to do is follow you on your Facebook. They actually know you're in goal right now. You're not at your home because you're already publishing all these photographs.
Yeah.
You already know who your friends are. So it's basically it's a scary world because information is now. I mean, like forget about the government spying on you, right? Especially in US and other countries, a lot of people are worried about this spying and all that. So you have to be really careful what you put out on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's once you put it out, there's no taking it back.
Yeah.
So you have to
Recently, calling the same thing has happened to YouTubers, some very popular YouTubers. So what they have done is they have called their phone company
yeah,
and pretend it to be a technician or someone and get their SIM, copy of their SIM. And when the two-step authentication appears, then you have an option to like get a SMS to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a SIM with the same number, you can get the SMS too. So they have got into the system like that.
So it's a scary world. Be careful about who you're giving out information, where you're publishing it in. So let's take a small break and see you after this break.